What is a clear sign that someone liked you, but you didn't realize until later? My mom always told me to marry this one girl from high school. I told her about it and she was like, oh wow, that's totally crazy, right? Would that ever happen? And I was like, no, we are too good of friends. Girl was like, so not even a chance. Didn't realize she was crushed until college. She yelled date me after I walked away from her one time. I thought she was joking. True story. One time this girl came over to my house. She sat on my bed and said, you're alone in your bedroom with the girl on your bed. And I was like, yep, that's weird. I was totally clueless. We were watching TV at her house, just us on the couch, and some character in the show said something I can't even remember now, and she said to me, if we ever have sex. That's how I'm going to describe it. I think I just chuckled and said, oh really? And that was pretty much it. We hung out a few more times and didn't do anything, and eventually she ghosted me and moved to another town. I'm a fucking idiot. Posted this as an answer to another question. I'll copy it here so you can share the misery. Dude here, roommate had introduced me to a woman who said she wanted to get to know me. On several occasions we're in the backyard, watching a movie and having a bonfire. She's got her legs across my lap, her one arm across my chest, and the other behind me, her head on my shoulder looking at me with the most obvious kiss me eyes anyone could have. My dumbass decides to ask why are you looking at me like that? And goes back to watching the movie, now engaged with a kid. Her of course, not me, to a guy who knew the signs. There was this Domino's pizza stand at the community college I went to. Nothing fancy, they just had a couple pizzas in hot bags below the counter and would charge like $2 a slice, then pack it up and leave when they ran out. Anyways, this pretty cute girl was usually working it, and I'd sit at a table right in front of it because there weren't usually a ton of people around and I could play on my phone or do homework. Of course, I'd get a slice of pizza or two and eat while I sat there. We ended up chatting every day I was there, just shooting the shit, nothing special. After a while she started throwing an extra slice on my plate when I ordered, and eventually she stopped charging me at all. Of course, my young, oblivious self with no self-esteem was just like, sweet, free food and someone to chat with. Towards the end of the semester we were talking one day and she told me that they weren't gonna be doing the stand the following semester. I was just like, damn, that sucks, and asked her what was gonna happen. This poor girl practically begged me to make a move, but I was just too fucking stupid to see it. I was talking about the pizza stand with a buddy of mine years later who started at that JUCO after the stand was gone. I was telling the story and my interactions with this girl and was like, yeah, she was super cool and used to give me free pizza, and I stopped mid-sentence and looked at nothing in particular and said, oh my god, she had a crush on me. If you're out there, Northwest MS Domino's girl, I am so sorry I was so fucking dense. It wasn't anything against you, I'm just really goddamn dumb. Girl lived across the hall in my college dorm. She came over in just her new push-up bra to see what I thought of it. I was at a high school dance. I really wanted to dance with my crush and was preparing to ask her. Then a girl from her group of friends came to me and asked me for a dance. I danced with her and then she casually asked me who I had a crush on. We were friends, so it wasn't weird. I proxed to tell her. When we finished dancing, I asked my crush. She said no in front of all her and my friends. I cried in the bathroom. When I composed myself, I went and enjoyed the night further. I had noticed the girl I danced with first was crying, but I didn't think much of it because I was with my guy friends at the time. Thinking back, I realized I crushed her heart. Dude, same. I had a girl that I had a crush on the summer before my freshman year. She was pretty quiet, but we were in musicals together and would hang out pretty often because of that huge time commitment. I asked her to go grab ice cream at one point and she said she was busy, so I took it as rejection. About a month passes and I have a crush on someone new and aim at homecoming. The girl from the summer is there as his new crush. A slowish song comes on and I go to ask new crush to dance. She rejects me and I heartbrokenly start to walk to the door to go get some air or whatever. On the way out, summer girl comes up and asks if I am dancing there with anyone and I say no, and just fucking leave. One of my buddies followed me out and lit me up for being an idiot about the whole situation. I went back in and summer girl was nowhere to be found. I learned later that she had left in tears and I was fucking crushed. She was so shy and quiet that it must have taken so much for her to approach me like that, and I just shoved her aside like she was nothing. Cute friend. Do you have a girlfriend? Me. Nah. Cute friend. Are you dating someone? Me. Nope. Not really. Cute friend. Wow. If you asked me out, I would date you. Me. Ha. Thanks. Okay, bye. Fast forward to a few years later. Me. Haul up. She asked me to prom. Still didn't pick up on it. There was a girl in college who I had a crush on. One night, she described the type of guy who she's attracted to. She basically just described me, but since my self-esteem was so low at the time, I was like, damn, I wish I was like that. A few days later, my friends were discussing it and they were laughing at me for not making a move. It was actually a huge wake-up call for me to get my mental health together. She would always find an excuse to sit close to me. I spent a year flirting with my sister's neighbor. Always invited him to come swim with me at the pool. Showed up at his house with stuff I baked for him to try. Played with his hair. Sat next to him. Hugged him hello and goodbye when I wouldn't do that to anyone else. Finally, I just asked him out. I asked him if he ever noticed and he had no idea. He said he might have noticed something in the last month but he wasn't sure. Edit. He said yes, it's been 3 months. My now husband asked if I wanted to hang out and I just thought he was being friendly. His best friend later asked me why I shot him down and I was like, I am a working single mom and he's a sweetheart, but I don't have time for a new friend. I love talking to you guys when you come in. He responds with, oh, I thought you were into him, my bad. That's when it dawned on my stupid ass he wanted to hang out to get to know me better in a romantic sense. His friend saw the realization dawn on me and lost his shit laughing and gave me the phone number, and 16 years later we are still hanging out. Oh fuck, this one hurts. I had a coworker in a coffee shop I used to work at. Most beautiful girl I had ever met inside and out. I used to joke with one of our mutual coworkers that I would marry her in a heartbeat if I ever got the chance. We became really good friends. Would go on midnight drives, sing songs the whole time. Go look at the stars while sitting on the roof. We would go get lunch together and do art in her apartment. Talk for hours and hours about the things in life that others can't share. The whole shebang in retrospect. But I lacked the confidence to ever ask her out formally. I was so afraid that she just valued my friendship, and that by asking her out I would cross some invisible line and lose all that time that I cherished. I never ever made a move. Time passed and she began dating someone else, a goddamn saint of a man, and I fell into a cycle of unfulfilling relationships. Years later, I'm talking to our mutual coworker, who I was still friends with. Turns out, after I stopped working there, he asked her if she ever liked me in that way. She did. I had a chance with a woman I can now only dream of, and now she's married to the saint, and I am alone typing up one of my deepest and most painful regrets on the internet. Edit. Thanks for the support, internet strangers. I try keep my head up and my heart open, but every once and a while someone types up a question that rips the band-aid off a bit too early, you know. Either way, may love find you and me one day. We all deserve it. While talking in a group, they pay the most attention to you and try to ask for small favors. Dawn, that was her name, met her in college as we were in a class together. If you were all watching us like a TV show, you'd be screaming at me at all the damn signs she was giving me. I was oblivious to every damn one of them. Part of the reason is I felt a bit disoriented after serving in the Navy for 4 years, putting me older than most other students, and another because I never, ever would think a girl would be that interested in me. The worst part about all of this, she told me the last day of the semester before she left the college for one closer to home. Her words, exactly, I loved you the first day I met you because you seemed so different, charming, and grown up, but I hated you didn't see how much I loved you. Here's another token of that love. Then she leaned up, kissed and hugged me, and left crying. Making it hurt even worse is I actually liked her too. She was cute, smart, and caring. I don't have regrets in my life, but my goodness, I so fucking wish a time machine were real so I could undo the hurt this girl went through at my expense. I still remember you, Dawn, even after all these years. That's how much you meant to me. She used any excuse to touch me and she used to laugh at any of my horrible jokes. They're horrible jokes, horrible. Thank you for watching. If you liked the video, please like it. Subscribe to the channel and share your similar stories in the comments. See you soon.